and welcome to Studio 5. We've got a wonderful show to share with you this week. An uplifting voice from radio takes a seat in front of the camera to share a personal and powerful story about adoption. Tauren Wells helps music fans to make the return to the live concert world. And Jim Gafigan, Maya Rudolph, and the creators of an animated film shine a light on the importance of friendship. Before we get to those items, we must begin this week's countdown of the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment.
At number 5,
four-time Olympic gold medalist and 19-time world champion gymnast Simone Biles is considered the greatest of all time, the GOAT. And she knows it. She even has the leotard to prove it.
And the American artistic gymnast adds yet another jewel to her crown with this.
Ooh, nailed it. Simone Biles has made history leading up to the Tokyo Olympics. Over the weekend, she became the first woman to land what's called the Yurchenko double pike in a competition. The U.S. Classic was Biles' first competition in over a year.
Sometimes you get caught up in that moment, and it's just scary because I go out and I'm like, can I do it again? Can I be this good? And can I repeat what I did last Olympics? And I feel like that's what motivates me.
At number 4.
We're out here. The first player we see walk by, number 85. That is Timothy Tebow of Nice High School UF fame and now Jaguars fame.
Tim Tebow makes a surprise return to football, but he's not looking to be a quarterback. The NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars are eyeing Tebow to play as a tight end.
I want to thank the Jaguars for the opportunity to compete and earn a chance to be a part of this team. I know it will be a challenge, but it is a challenge I embrace.
With that, the countdown has begun. And now, just in case you didn't know, Willie Moore Jr. is on the radio. The syndicated radio host has a powerful story to share, and he's doing it with a film documenting his journey to find his birth mother. It's called The Missing Piece. And Willie Moore joins us in Studio 5 for a behind-the-scenes look at the project.
Just in case you didn't know, Willie Moore Jr. on your radio. Come on, y'all, let's go.
Tonio's in the building, family. Listen, 1K Few is in the building. The name of the song is Church Gone Wild.
That familiar voice is syndicated radio show host Willie Moore Jr., who's also an actor, comedian, producer, speaker, singer, and minister from St. Louis.
Praise God. Y'all give it up for my brother Willie Moore Jr.
Willie is also a proud husband and father, as well as a big supporter of family, having himself been adopted as an infant.
How were you able to live such a full life, having no connection to your birth family for so long and feeling that's okay?
You know what? Being adopted by 2 amazing ex-sharecroppers, right? My dad is 89 years young. My mama, she been 35 the last 35 years. Black don't crack, beige don't age, right? It literally was the most amazing opportunity that the Creator could ever give a child like me. You know, they didn't have a whole lot of money. They didn't have a whole lot of wealth, but they had a whole lot of love. And literally, they didn't parent me with the trajectory of, if you do it this way and you don't do it this way, I won't do this. They just did it with love, and I'm just so thankful, and I'm looking to give other children the opportunity to experience what I've experienced.
Willie Moore Jr.'s experience on the personal journey to find his birth mother is now a film he's sharing with the world.
How did you think that being adopted and never having met your biological parents, that you was okay?
Like, what did she look like? What was her name? Did she ever think of me? I opened the birth certificate, and I get it, and I look at the name for the child, and I realized that I did not have a name. But in 2019, I received word from the adoption agency through an email that my biological mom was dead.
For most of us, we get a funeral as a point of closure for our loved ones. Even if he had feelings and wanted to know about himself and get more meaning to himself and put together some pieces of the puzzle of his life that he was not able to put together, that may never happen.
She put me up for adoption, she refused to meet me, and then she died on me.
After he told me her name, I got really curious.
She called me and she was just like, I think I found the person who could possibly be your brother. then she added a caveat. She said she's not dead. Although my story is an amazing Hallmark story, I just understand that there are so many children out there who need the trajectory and the thought process of fostering to adopt to be changed, because they're sitting there waiting on somebody to come for them. And so I think it's our job to be a voice to the voiceless. And so with this particular documentary short, it's only 36 minutes. Our goal is to make sure that the 125,000 children who are available for adoption get the opportunity for the narrative to be changed. I think when they see this beautiful story, it's going to reconcile hearts, and people, specifically African-American people, are going to want to engage the foster care system to help children out like me. Hey, I retired my mother, right? She never has to work another day in her life. And so I'm telling everybody across the world, listen, you could adopt a Willie.
There are about 500,000 children in foster care right now, and we applaud Willie Moore Jr.'s journey and the work he is doing to get them homes. To see his film, The Missing Piece, be sure to check out his website, WillieMooreJr.live.org.
Still to come on Studio 5. Tauren Wells back on tour. It's happening. And we're sharing exactly when, next, in Studio 5.
Life is better with a good night's sleep. Get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep as the world watches from the outside.
It's a big diplomatic tug-of-war here in the Middle East.
Go inside the story with Jerusalem Dateline.
Israeli archaeologists are talking about a discovery that could change the thinking about the Temple Mount.
Join CBN Jerusalem Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell and get the biblical perspective on the events shaping the world.
What starts in Israel then ends up going to other places.
Watch Jerusalem Dateline Friday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
At number 3.
And it is. It's called The Wing Feather Saga, a best-selling fantasy book series that, with your help, will be developed into a multi-season animated series.
With pitches like this, the Christian children's book series has just broken The Chosen's record for being the fastest crowdfunded TV show, raising more than $1 million.
Kids thrive best with support from their families, and that message permeates the entire series.
At number 2.
This horse got a lot of spirit.
You do have a lot of spirit.
A Studio 5 early look at Spirit Untamed.
Tell me, what do you think it is about human beings and horses? It seems there's a special connection, correct?
Through the eyes of its first-time director.
I think one of the most special things that you experience when hanging around horses is that you're required to come down and be calm and be still and communicate with a being that doesn't speak your language. And that itself translates to so many things in life. Being able to have an entire conversation and work with somebody without being able to speak.
Just take it slow. Horses can feel what you feel. It's in your heart to run free.
The film hits theaters next weekend with young stars Isabella Merced, McKenna Grace, and Marseille Martin.
What about you personally connects you most to the character you play?
I would just say our passion for what we love to do.
And welcome back to Studio 5. With that, we have only one more story to share in this week's countdown. I want to turn our attention right now to singer, songwriter, preacher, teacher, husband, father, Tauren Wells. He's announced he is getting on the road and coming to a city near you with his Citizen of Heaven tour. We've had the chance to sit down with Tauren a few times, so we thought we'd share some of his latest music and some of our conversation.
My new best friend, her.
Hey, what's up? I'm her.
I'm Tauren Wells.
And we're on the set of our new music video, Hold Us Together. All right, let's do it, guys.
I will trust in you and know that you are with me forever.
I am so interested to know where this song came from.
Actually, the song came from a good friend of mine. He was feeling what was going on during the pandemic, and when he played me the song, I kind of was in tears when I heard it. We worked on it together. I changed some of the lyrics just to really bring home the message, and when I called you to be on it, I just felt like we could take it so much further and give people this message and give people hope through music, because at the end of the day, you know, no matter what, I think God is always there to hold us together and give us hope.
And you are not only leading worship, but you're now preaching as well. How did that happen? When did you feel the pull, the call?
Yeah, well, I guess I first really felt called to do it when I was 16, but I was very scared to do that. But once I got to Bible college, I realized there were a lot of guys there that were really good at preaching.
Getting caught up in the here and now has a tendency to wear me down.
So I really shied away from it. I never preached during my Bible college years. I actually had a class, a preaching class, and I got up in front of the class and I used all the things my uncle had taught me and prepared a 5-minute message. And when I got done, the professor of the class said, "Go sit down and don't ever bring a sermon you got off the internet in here again." And I said, I didn't get this off the internet, I wrote this. He was like, "There's no way you wrote that." I'm not gonna let these negative voices define my calling. I'm gonna be who God has called me to be and do what He's called me to do.
It's so unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me.
The song is known. Tell me about the story behind the song.
Tell me I could start again.
There was a quote that I had recently heard, and it was this quote by Timothy Keller that said, "To be loved but not known is comforting but superficial. To be known and not loved is our greatest fear. But to be fully known and truly loved is what it means to be loved by God."
And it's not one or the other. It's our truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known, and loved by you.
How God has used the song in my own life, teaching me that image is overrated, and the space between who I pretend to be and who I really am is just filled with frustration and anxiety and fear. So it's allowed me to step into a new place, knowing that the one who has all of the information on me has nothing but love for me.
Bulletproof, and I surrender to your kindness. Oh, I'm fully known.
Sometimes the world doesn't recognize the most valuable things. And a lot of times people don't recognize the value in you. But God always does.
And it's not one or the other. It's our truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known, in love.
You can live above the approval of the world when you live from the affirmation of God. And that sets you free to be who you are. Jesus did not die for our image. He died for who we really are.
I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much.
Tickets for Tauren Wells' Citizen of Heaven tour are available right now. They've been on sale since May 21st. We're hoping to catch up with him on at least some of those spots this fall. With that, this is a great time to share a story in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
At age 50, golfer Phil Nicholson is now the oldest player to win a major championship. In this Studio 5 Snapshot, we're sharing images and his words after capturing the 103rd PGA Championship.
I don't know how to describe the feeling of excitement and fulfillment and accomplishment to do something when you know, at this magnitude, when very few people thought that I could. But you know, it's very possible that this is the last tournament I ever win, like if I'm being realistic. But it's also very possible that I may have had a bit of a breakthrough in some of my focus, and maybe I go on a little bit of a run. I don't know. The point is that there's no reason why I or anybody else can't do it at a later age. It just takes a little bit more work.
Coming up,
We underdogs have to look out for each other, right? Underdogs!
an animated lesson in true friendship.
There's a certain innocence to this. It's really kind of beautiful.
The stars of Luca take us behind the scenes.
Daddy,
Yeah, buddy.
how many nickels are in a dollar?
There are 20 nickels in a dollar.
How do birds fly? Does milk really make my bones stronger?
Yeah.
Daddy, when we die, will we go to heaven?
Do you have the answer to life's biggest question? Call the 700 Club. We'll help you find answers to the important questions life brings your way.
Watch breaking news, in-depth exclusive stories and programs from health to entertainment you won't find anywhere else. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Enjoy credible news reporting from around the world. Discover inspiring programs and stories of hope, all in one place from a Christian perspective. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. To watch the CBN News Channel, download the app or visit cbnnewschannel.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. David Perlmutter, board-certified neurologist and #1 New York Times bestselling author. Wouldn't it be great to boost your energy, eliminate brain fog, and even reverse brain disease? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how, along with some of the world's most well-respected brain experts, in this DVD, Protect Your Brain.
Get Protect Your Brain, a free DVD only from the Christian Broadcasting Network, featuring experts on the cutting edge of neuroscience and brain health.
No matter how many times you've failed in the past, you really can do this.
In Protect Your Brain, you'll discover simple strategies to keep your brain young and healthy. Improve your memory. Discover the gut-brain connection. In Protect Your Brain. Get your free copy at cbn.com or call 1-800-700-7000.
If you want to improve the quality of your life, get the DVD Protect Your Brain and get it today.
Welcome back to Studio 5. Friendship takes center stage in a new Disney Pixar film. It's called Luca, and it stars the likes of Jim Gafigan and Maya Rudolph. We have a Studio 5 first look for you.
Luca is a story of friendships that are authentic and only found around a certain age.
We underdogs have to look out for each other, right? Underdogs!
I love this moment in a young person's life, having someone push you out of your comfort zone to discover yourself.
There's a certain innocence to this. It's really kind of beautiful.
Come on!
I had the luck of meeting my best friend Alberto when I was 11. He had a ton of passion and was consciously testing his own fears.
Who's holding the ramp?
The turtle!
I wonder if I would have had the courage to go and chase my career in animation had I not met my best friend.
I really loved watching the friendship between Luca, Julia, and Alberto. I'm hoping that it will bring back a lot of memories for people of summers when they were kids.
My birthday's in the summer, so a lot of really, really good childhood memories of summertime, and it was always a pool party.
Let's go swim. I guess that's how humans swim?
Ugh, that's embarrassing.
Some kids go away to camp, and you're like, where my dog's at? But then the key ones that are in town, they like to party.
These are the friendships that teach us lessons, build your self-esteem, and you have like the sense of belonging.
I got friends that believe in me, who push me. Like, I would tell them an idea that I have, and they'd be like, make it, do it. This movie is the perfect example of that.
Take me, gravity!
These friendships that help us find ourselves. That is really at the heart of the story of Luca.
And Luca is in theaters in just a few weeks, June 18th to be exact. Well, we have made it to the final headline in this week's countdown of the best stories in uplifting entertainment. Here's this week's number one.
At number one.
How is Aretha doing?
Aretha's doing all right.
A new look at Respect, the film based on the life of music legend Aretha Franklin, before it hits theaters in August.
You're special, Ree. You have a talent they call genius.
How old is she? She's 10, but her voice is going on 30, honey.
How many albums have you had?
4. And no hits.
I need you to focus and avoid frivolous distractions.
Honey, find the songs that move you. Until you do that, you ain't going nowhere. I want to sing what I want to sing.
Okay.
Find out what it means to me.
You really like it?
We love it.
Ree.
Ree.
It's really good.
Just moments away.
How many of you know that literally if you get into the right environment, you can flourish? You can be better than you've ever been.
Best-selling author and radio host Willie Moore Jr. is back with a final word of wisdom.
Introducing the CBN Bible from cbn.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN Newswatch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN Newswatch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh, no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man coming.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
And we are so glad you are back with us in Studio 5. This week's soundtrack comes from a singer you've already heard in today's show, and that is Tauren Wells. He's here with Elevation Worship. Take a listen and see why Never Lost a Battle is what's playing in my ear. Never lost a battle, and you never will. On that musical note, let's take a look ahead and see what's coming up right here on Studio 5 come next week.
My name is Captain Wade Malloy, and I am the only two-time champion of Bisbee's Black and Blue tournament.
That's actor Dennis Quaid in the soon-to-be-released Netflix film, The Blue Miracle.
You could join us. Join you? Yeah, a casa hogar. I'm not no orphan.
I just moved that floor.
Can't expect street kids to learn manners overnight.
You've got 20 years to learn, Omar.
Studio 5 sits down with the players behind the incredible true story of the Mexican boys' home that entered the world's biggest fishing tournament to save their orphanage.
World's biggest fishing tournament. Best teams in the world compete for millions in prizes.
Sorry, but I'm afraid you don't qualify for this list.
What if you team me up with a local fisherman? Doesn't have to be anybody even good. Doesn't even have to be a fisherman. With them? Those kids?
Hope you'll join us for that story and so much more come next week. Before we say goodbye this week, we want to give the final word to Willie Moore Jr.
The moment that I found out I had a miracle in my hand, I stopped tripping out the fact that I never met my biological mother or my father. Because the greatest among us will serve, I started thanking God for Willie J. and Floyd Moore. And instead of P-Dub Pretty Willie, I started making the nation call me Willie Moore Jr., so I don't want you to mistake me for that awesome man right there. So you call me Junior because I'm second to him. He was a sharecropper who came into St. Louis, Missouri. He worked, he scrubbed floors. I was able to retire both of them, right? Right? Now watch this, watch this. I realized there's a miracle in my hand, still had some internal issues, couldn't love the way I wanted to love. But the greatest among us will serve. I may not never meet my biological mother. So I took on the adoption and foster care system. And I'm changing the whole system, sitting on Capitol Hill with a ball cap and a t-shirt on, talking to these state senators and all these people with all this stuff, right? Because I understood the miracle was in my hand. I couldn't sit around and wait for somebody else to do it. I had to do it. This year I have one item that I'm bringing with me every single day of my life. I'm bringing a pamper with me. So when I do get mad and I do get sad, I want you to find one thing that reminds you of why you're doing what you're doing. I just had a brand new baby girl. Her name Paisley Ray. And she don't deserve a mediocre life. So when I get tired of serving because people say some evil things in this world on social media and they make you feel bad about who you are, and I'm getting a little older, as you can see the gray is in my beard, I always look at this pamper every single day. And I'll get on that mic, I'll get on those stages, and I'll say, baby, listen, even when I don't feel like it, I'm going for it.
That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you and then come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching.